Everything you need to know in less than 5 minutes. Jhin is one of the strongest marksmen during the early game, as you can dominate your lane opponents with his short, bursty trading patterns. Your playstyle is largely dictated by your passive, which prevents Jhin from increasing his attack speed with items, but grants him enormous amounts of attack damage in return. Every fourth shot is a guaranteed critical strike that also deals more damage to targets with lower health. After firing this execution bullet, you get disarmed completely for a few seconds, but you also get a burst of movement speed. This means you have to go for a hit and run playstyle, which more resembles that of a cooldown based mage rather than that of a traditional AD carry. You must use the downtime between your auto attacks to reposition or to weave in one of your spells. Q is your most important ability and should be maxed first. You max W second, and E is your 1-point wonder. Your Q functions as both wave clear and lane harass at the same time, as it punishes your opponents for staying too close to their minions, especially when you kill the minions with it. It has the exact same range as your basic attacks, so while fighting you should simply Q your enemy directly and not rely on bounces. Your W is an extremely long-ranged skill shot and gives Jhin enormous playmaking potential when you consider that marksmen typically lack reliable crowd control. It has some damage on it for potential snipes, but its main use is for following up on your teammates' engages. Keep in mind that this spell also damages minions in its path, so you can use it to quickly push the wave as well. Your E is very unlikely to ever hit enemy champions unless you can snare them with your W too. However, it provides some limited vision, which makes it an okay tool to control bushes and to scout enemy ganks. It is best used, however, to clear stacked up minion waves, and in combination with your other abilities allows you to push extremely hard. Therefore, Jhin is perfectly equipped to not only force your opponents out of lane, but also to punish them for recalling by instantly shoving the wave under their tower. Your ultimate is actually quite difficult to use correctly. Especially during the earlier stages of a teamfight, it doesn't do all that much for you, as full health tanks will body block the bullets for their squishy backline. If you can safely get into range for auto-attacking, you should do so and save your ultimate for later. This ability excels in punishing enemies that are out of position and in finishing off low health targets that are trying to escape after a teamfight. In order to amplify this burst and execute-oriented playstyle, you go for the rune page of Dark Harvest, Taste of Blood, Iowa Collection, and Ravenous Hunter with Presence of Mind and Legend Bloodlines secondary. Both your final basic attack and your ultimate deal more damage to targets when they have low health, and Dark Harvest triggers under the exact same condition. Therefore, this keystone perfectly synergizes with Jhin's champion design and further rewards you for playing to your strengths. The healing runes are pretty much the meta choice for most AD carries right now, and Jhin is no exception. Itemizing for full damage and outsourcing regeneration to your rune page is simply too efficient. Jhin is not the most mana-hungry champion, but you can run out of resources in longer teamfights, so Presence of Mind is an easy fix. However, if you are comfortable managing your mana without it, you can also press the like button and go for coup de grace for even more execute damage. Despite your attack speed being almost static and your crits dealing less damage than usual, Jhin's passive still rewards you for building regular marksman items. Attack speed and critical strike chance simply get converted into bonus attack damage, giving each of your 4 shots tremendous value. All this attack damage also feeds into the bonus AD ratio of the effect of Gale Force, which is your most important core item. You start the game with boots and 4 potions, and rush Boots of Swiftness and Gale Force as early as possible. Gale Force really does everything for Jhin, as all its stats feed into your passive, and you get more movement speed to reposition between shots, and the dash on this item also deals execute damage. Most players go for Collector into Infinity Edge from here, but I will argue that this is a mistake. Collector by now is widely accepted to be an overhyped item, and even if the additional execute might look tempting on Jhin, you are far better off buying Rapid Fire Cannon here. Not only is this item 500 gold cheaper and provides you with all the important combat stats, but Jhin is also arguably the best user of Rapid Fire Cannon in the entire game. Due to your absurd amounts of total attack damage, one Jhin auto attack holds tremendously more value than a single attack from any other champion. Therefore, Rapid Fire Cannon makes Jhin's poke damage extremely oppressive, despite its bonus range only being active for 1 shot. Additionally, this item further increases your playmaking potential, as you can now enable the snare from your W with your long-ranged rapid fire shot. Your 4th item should almost always be Lord Dominik's Regards, since dealing with tankier enemies is one of Jhin's biggest problems. Also keep in mind that base armor scales quite hard with champion levels, so in the mid to late game Lord Doms will be your biggest possible damage increase even against the squishiest enemies. For your last item, any of the common choices for AD carries are viable, and you need to pick according to your game. Special shoutouts to the item Stormrazor though, as the slow on your empowered auto attack allows you to perfectly combo into your W, while your opponent has little chance of dodging the skill shot. Now, if you found that video helpful, you can access an entire playlist of educational content like this by clicking the link on your screen right there.